alive on the moon. Jaro, it's On the Pen Alive, with your host David Knapp.
Thank you, Clap Track, and happy Thursday night. I'm your host, Dave Knapp, man on the Manjaro. That's why I'm here. You are on the pen. Wegovy, Saxenda, Victoza, Trulicity, Manjaro's Upbound, Compound, That Pen. It's what we talk about here every week on the Pen Live. This our 94th episode of On the Pen Live, and we've got a good one for you. Now, this is a pre-recorded live stream. Typically, these are live and in person in the flesh, but I right now am enjoying a beautiful, probably 4-hour-long Christmas program where all 4 of my kids will be singing their little hearts out. So that's where OTP will be, but you better be sure I'll be checking my phone and in the comments. Thank you for being here tonight. It's great to have you here. We've got an amazing show for you tonight. We've got a maintenance minute from our friend Corey, and we've got a wonderful Reddit recap from our friend Fit Flavor Fun Allie. So we've got some great stuff lined up for you. And then our interview tonight from Dr. Shantanu Gaur, who is the CEO of a company called Allurion. Allurion makes a little balloon that you swallow. They fill it up with solution. It sits in your stomach for 4 months, and patients lose 10 to 15%, some up to 20% of their body weight in that 4 months. And he's here to talk all about it. So if you're into some non-invasive, sort of not bariatric surgery, but not GLP-1, something else, or maybe something that can help boost your GLP-1 journey, this is going to be a great one to listen to. Please stay tuned for the rest of the program. It's going to be a good one. But we're going to get right into our housekeeping this week and talk about something super, super exciting. I can't wait to bring you this news. Housekeeping. You want Mintful pillow? What kind of hotel is this? 10 points every week to whoever can guess that movie. So let's check this out. We have been teasing something for months, and we're finally bringing you some good news. The book, Decoding GLP-1, a guide for friends and family of those on the pen, drops in just a couple of days. It is in the Amazon queue. It is getting approved, all the things. So within a couple of days, this is going to be available on the Amazon Marketplace. It is going to be available in a paperback copy for those of you who want to live up to the spirit of this book, which is really to have you pass it along to the loved ones in your life who you just don't want to have the awkward conversation with, right? Or the people that you've tried to have the conversation with and they just don't get it. This is a super easy to digest book, right? It's 10 chapters long, just a few pages a chapter. And it covers everything from a little bit about my own personal journey to the history of anti-obesity medicines and GLP-1s, to how they work, to the horizon of anti-obesity medicines, why obesity is a disease. It covers a little bit about the OTP community. We've got like 9 or 10 different stories from OTP community members in it, talking about their experience on GLP-1s. And then at the back of the book, there's this wonderful section that talks about all the terms that we use in this community that aren't going to be familiar to your loved ones. And we have a question, sort of conversation starting section for those of you who want to know how to help broach the conversation of being on a GLP-1 with your loved ones. And if you love someone on a GLP-1 and you feel like these conversations are awkward for you, there's something in there for you at the end too, to know how to approach best supporting your loved one on a GLP-1. This is all about the relational piece, right? Because so much of this journey, what I found very early on in my journey sharing, is that people don't like to talk about this. But when you show up to Thanksgiving or Christmas and you're 50 pounds lighter, people start asking questions, right? And you don't always know how to answer them. This book is for you to pass along to them and hopefully start to build those conversations and improve the overall societal conversation around GLP-1 medications and anti-obesity treatments in general. I'm so excited for this book. I have put my heart, my soul into this book. My mother has helped me to kind of put this all together. We've had help from Cloakster in the community and Michelle Hess in the community. And there are others of you who I've passed this along to in advance too. And so thank you for bearing with me. This has been quite a process, maybe a little bit longer of a process than I thought, but we've got it before Christmas. So I'm super excited. Drop the book emoji if you are in the chat. If you are in the chat tonight, drop a book emoji in the chat if you're excited. But after this video posts, once it's not live anymore, come back, put the book emoji in the chat, and somebody from the community will win a free autographed copy of the new book, Decoding GLP-1, a guide for friends and family of those on the pen. You may have noticed we changed the name of this. It was on the GLP-1 pen. I didn't feel like that was accessible enough for people who don't know the nomenclature. So we did work in on the pen there, family of those on the pen. So we did work in on the pen on there. So shout out to the community. I can't believe we're here. I can't believe that 2 years ago, we were doing these kind of goofy, quirky lives. And now we're writing a book. We're releasing a book. It's just amazing. So if you want to know when this drops, and there will be some promotional things that happen around Christmas, you have to go to onthepen.com and sign up for email alerts. That is going to be the best way that you know the second this bad girl drops, it's going to be available in hardcover and it's going to be available on an ebook. But the hardcover is what I recommend because you can pass that along. Stocking stuffers, gift exchanges, all the things. Please help support the work that we've done here by supporting the book. And I can't wait to tell you about that. Go sign up on thepen.com/emails. You can sign up there and you'll know the second that this bad girl drops. Super exciting. If you missed yesterday, well, first of all, this was a huge weekend on the pen. We hit 15,000 subscribers this week, and we had a 15,000 subscriber spectacular live stream the second we hit it, and we gave a bunch of stuff away. All of that went out this week. You should be getting it in the next couple of days. Super excited for that. Really excited for that, in fact. And tonight, we have a really awesome giveaway to one lucky member. So if you want the book, you got to put the book emoji in the comments of this video after it posts. Yeah, I don't see the comments in the chat after it's live. I see them in the comments. So you have to leave it in the comment section after this is live. You want the book, put a book emoji in the chat. We'll give a signed copy away to somebody. The other thing we're giving away tonight, and I can't wait to bring this to you, is some protein salad dressing. This is exciting stuff. I tried this myself. It is literally salad dressing, very clean ingredients, with more protein in it per serving than an egg. You're not going to believe this stuff. BuildTheBody.com. BuildTheBody.com is where you can find these. You can use code ONThepen to save 10%. I just want to show you these. We're giving 2 of these away this week, 2 of them away next week. So thank you to our friends at Build the Body, DJ there, who's very passionate about what he does. He actually picked up where his grandfather, who passed away, he was developing salad dressings. His grandfather was. He picked this up. He is passionate about people getting in their protein. Of course, a huge deal for those of us on the pen. There are 2 flavors in here, and they're super clean ingredients. You might notice that the color is a little bit more like a vinaigrette color. That's because they're avocado oil based. A couple things that they tell you is that you want to refrigerate them before use because their dressings are shelf stable and they don't need to be refrigerated until after opening. They recommend storing them in the fridge before use to allow the product to thicken and all the flavors to meld together. Then they request that you shake them before you use them for the best experience that helps blend all the flavors in. And then they want you to know that there are 8 grams of protein per serving. So we've got a Caesar salad dressing and a ranch dressing. The Caesar salad is my favorite. It's just like a Caesar dressing you would get at a restaurant, and it's very tangy. I like Caesar dressing. I'm a big fan of this. The ranch is very good too for an avocado oil-based ranch and not a mayonnaise-based ranch. These are both very good. I highly recommend them. They're super clean ingredients, and you'll be helping a small business who's very passionate about growing, which we're very passionate about at On the Pen. So you have to simply put the salad emoji in the comments, and then next week we'll let you know on the pen who won this week's salad dressing. We'll have another giveaway next week, but shout out to our friends. Look at the box. They did such a good job. Shout out to our friends at Build the Body. You can follow along at Build the Body, and on TikTok, and then on Instagram, Build the Body Protein. Check them out. Thank you to our friends at Build the Body for this week's giveaway. We're giving, it's like the 10 days of Christmas here. We're doing giveaways. So that's what we're doing it On the Pen, giving back. And thank you to our friends at Build the Body for this week's giveaway. Let's move this show along because we've got a lot to get to. This week and every week, we've been giving you a maintenance minute. Now, many of you who follow On the Pen, you've already lost your weight, but now you've focused on what can I do to maintain where I'm at. That's a huge deal for people who are on the pen. And Corey, our friend Corey, has been keeping us up to date on what some of the great things that we can do to navigate maintenance are. You know me, I'm far from maintenance, but Corey's not, and she's been giving us great content. So this week's Maintenance Minute with Corey.
Hi, I'm Corey. The judgment toward obese patients taking Ozempic or similar GLP-1 medications like Zepbound often stems from a mix of societal stigma, misinformation, and misconceptions about obesity and its treatments. Here are some reasons why this judgment occurs. 1. Stigma surrounding obesity. Society often frames obesity as a failure of personal willpower rather than acknowledging it as a complex, multifactorial medical condition influenced by genetics, biology, environment, and behavior. This leads to the misconception that people should be able to lose weight through discipline alone, fostering judgment toward those who use medical interventions. 2. Misunderstanding of GLP-1 medications. Many people incorrectly see drugs like Ozempic as a shortcut or cheat rather than a medically appropriate treatment. They might not understand that these medications address biological drivers of obesity, such as insulin resistance, appetite regulation, and metabolism, which are often outside of an individual's control. 3. Weight loss bias. Society tends to moralize weight loss and promote diet culture, rewarding individuals who lose weight through socially acceptable but often unsustainable means like dieting and excessive exercise. This creates a double standard where medical interventions are seen as less valid. 4. Scarcity mindset. With the popularity of GLP-1 drugs rising, there have been concerns about shortages, especially among patients who need them for type 2 diabetes. This can lead to frustration and judgment toward people using the drug primarily for weight loss, even though obesity is also a valid medical indication. 5. Cultural mistrust of medication. There's a growing skepticism toward pharmaceutical solutions, often rooted in fears of dependency, side effects, or financial motives of drug companies. People may project these biases onto individuals taking GLP-1 medications. 6. Envy and insecurity. Weight loss achieved through medication may spark envy in people who have struggled unsuccessfully with other methods. This envy can manifest as criticism or dismissal of those taking Ozempic. 7. Lack of empathy. Obesity is often seen as a visible flaw, which makes it a target for judgment in ways other chronic illnesses are not. People who lack empathy may view medical treatment as unnecessary or indulgent, failing to see the broader health implications of untreated obesity. Judgment often stems from ignorance and bias, but advocating for education and reducing stigma around obesity as a medical condition can help change these attitudes over time. And that is your Maintenance Minute.
Amazing work from our friend Corey. Corey giving us the Maintenance Minute every week. Such good insight and advice there. Thanks again for Corey. If you're in maintenance, put maintenance in the chat if you've been enjoying these, and give Corey some love. Another sponsor of the show is Integrated Peptides. This may be something to look at if you're in maintenance and you're struggling to maintain access, because Integrated Peptides Can't Wait is a oral peptide, because it's a short chain peptide. It's orally bioavailable. DNF10 works on ghrelin. Ghrelin is the hunger hormone. It's the hormone that literally tells your brain, hey, eat food, you're hungry. And this works on down regulating that hormone. Definitely talk to your doctor before you take anything new, but I've been taking this with great success for the last couple months. I am a huge fanboy of what they're doing at Integrated Peptides, and they've given us a code also where you can save 10% on any of their products in their store using code OTP10. The link is in the description. All the things that we're giving away and all the little affiliate things that we have, which do give a little bit back to the show here, are going to be found in the description of this video. But Integrated Peptides, I'm going to give this bottle away this week. We've been giving away a bottle of Can't Wait here and there. Anyone who is interested in trying this, drop Can't Wait with the little pill emoji in the comments of this video again after it posts, and we will give one of these away after this show on next week's show. Of course, on last week's show, we said that we were going to give one of these bottles away on this week's show. So congratulations to community member Deb Zimmerman, who won this week's bottle of Can't Wait. Deb, congratulations. Send an email to me, dave@onthepen.com. If you win any of these, you got to send me an email at dave@onthepen.com and tell me where to send it. I'll get it sent out as soon as you send me the address to where to send that Can't Wait. Thank you to Integrated Peptides for supporting these 12 days of Christmas, whatever. I guess we just call it that, right? I think there's about 12 days until Christmas, at least Christmas Eve. So yeah, thank you to Integrated Peptides. It's also a good moment to mention our partners at Ro. There was some huge news this week with Ro. They are now releasing the vials. So Ro will have the single dose vials of Zepbound available. But Ro has been a partner of OTP now for months, about 6 months. And they have been just a tremendous partner. They have allowed us to continue to bring content at a record pace. It seems like some days all I do is the news. But check out our partners at ro.co/OTP. You can check out their Ro Body program where you can get single dose vials of Zepbound, branded Zepbound now, through Ro directly. You never have to leave their website. It's just all seamless through the Ro website. ro.co/OTP is how you're going to get there. You're going to learn all about their Ro Body program, where patients lose 15 to 20% of their body weight in a year. Just amazing, with some lifestyle interventions and these amazing medications. Of course, if you're going to start a new medication, it's always important to be aware of the side effects. Potential side effects exist with any new medication you take. So always consult your doctor. Always be informed. All that information is available on their website. ro.co/OTP lets them know that OTP sent you, but check them out and check out their vials that they have now. Super exciting, sort of a full circle moment for On the Pen to have our partners at Ro as the first telehealth platform to be able to offer the single dose vials seamlessly through their website, integrated with their app and everything. Very easy to use. So check out ro.co/OTP. Thanks, Ro, for being such wonderful sponsors of the show. Sounds like we're going to have Z Rutano back on the Pen live next week. Z is going to come back and talk about the vials, what that means for patients, and just a little update from them. So we're looking forward to having Z back before Christmas here. Now, another segment that you all, I'm sure, have been waiting for is a segment that we've been doing now for a couple weeks. It's the Reddit recap. All sorts of amazing things happen on Reddit in terms of conversations around GLP-1. It's where you can get a lot of great information. Of course, that's no knock against the communities that we built over on Discord, on the Pen Discord, or the On the Pen groups on Facebook. But Reddit always has some good information there too. And since I don't hang out there, I hang out in our own groups. I know that we could be missing some stuff from time to time. So we've got our great friend from Fit Flavor Fun, Allie, to bring us this week's Reddit recap.
Season for freezing. Everybody on Reddit was exchanging different ideas about how we can all stay warm in this terrible GLP-1 winter that we are experiencing, where we feel like we're frozen to the bone. If you're not familiar, many of us on a GLP-1 suffer from feeling cold, especially now that fall and winter is upon us. So there were some really fantastic ideas over on Reddit, and I wanted to share them with you so that hopefully you can stay warm this winter. While you could never go wrong with something like a comfy sweater or a jacket, sometimes you just need something more, because for some reason, when you're on a GLP-1, it just chills you to the bone. So here are some of the things that people listed that were helpful. Heated gloves, heated socks, heated jackets. If you don't have a heated jacket, what are you doing? I mean, we are in 2024, about to be in 2025. We are living in the future, people. Do not wait for a flying car. Please, please get yourself a heated jacket. Another great option, especially for the ladies, are fleece-lined leggings. These things are buttery soft, and they will absolutely help keep you warm. You can't go wrong with wool socks or wool blend socks. I got these off of Amazon, and they're super comfy. They will keep your feet warm without making them hot, which is great. You can even get those disposable, activated heater thingies, right? And you can stick them down in the toes if you want. If you don't want to go like the actual battery powered heated sock option, that will also work. Never underestimate the power of a phenomenal hat to keep you warm, or a pair of gloves. And really, the heated gloves is the way to go. If you're at home and you have the option, jumping into a hot shower can really be helpful when you've reached that point where you're just so cold that nothing else seems to be working. Jumping into a hot shower is definitely the cure. If you're cold this winter, grab your favorite snuggly, warm blanket dress thing and a hot drink. When in doubt, do all the things. I hope you found this snippet helpful. And this is Allie signing off with your Reddit recap. I know. I'm all bundled up. I actually feel great. Yeah, I think I might just wear this the rest of the day. What do you think? What do you think? Is it stylish?
I was too quick on the trigger finger there. Amazing Reddit recap. Of course, the couple weeks that we've been doing this, I've really enjoyed this. I know that being cold on a GLP-1 was one of the first things I ever experienced. I could not believe how cold I was. It was one of the first shorts that I believe that I ever did on YouTube was about being cold on a GLP-1. It didn't catch on there, but slowly over time that video has gotten a ton of views because it's a huge thing. So if you want to check out those products, you can actually check out the description in this video. If you want some of those things, there's going to be some Amazon affiliate links that will go to help out Fit Flavor Fun's channel because she brought us some amazing research from Reddit this week. And so you can check those out. Easy way to go find what she talked about. But amazing Reddit recap this week from our friend Allie at Fit Flavor Fun. I hope you're enjoying these little vignettes. I enjoy them a lot. I learn a lot from them. And I just appreciate them being willing to put this content together every week for the show. It's making it so much better, in my opinion. If you agree, let me know in the comments of this video. But we've got a great show for you tonight lined up in terms of the interview that we did. I teased this a little bit earlier. Allurion, the company that makes the inflatable balloon that goes in your stomach and helps patients lose a pretty significant amount of weight. Their CEO is here to talk to us tonight. Cannot wait to bring you this interview. It's going to be a good one. Shantanu Gaur, Dr. Shantanu Gaur is the CEO of Allurion, and he came to talk a little bit about what they're doing. I'm super excited for this. Let's see if I can share this here. Yes. But we got to roll the hot channel bumper, don't we? It's just not right if we don't run the hot channel bumper. So let's do that. Hey, while I'm rolling this bumper, did you guys get a chance to check out the interview yesterday with the attorney that's running the trial for the Outsourcing Facilities Association and the compound thing? I think I meant to mention this earlier. If you missed that, check it out. It's an exclusive interview. The OFA has not been talking, but they talked to On the Pen. We got their counsel, interviewed him. It's available on our page. It's available at onthepen.com. Please, please, please check it out. But this week's Hot Channel, Dr. Shantanu Gaur with Allurion.
Hot channel.
OTP community, we have got another amazing interview lined up for you today. Another, new kind of way at looking at a potential way to treat the disease of obesity. This one is a unique one. We did a video on this one about 9 months ago. And here we are 9 months from then. We have the CEO of Allurion, Dr. Shantanu Gaur is here to talk about their, well, I'm going to let him tell you about it. Dr. Gaur, welcome to On the Pen.
Thank you for having me on, Dave.
It's good to have you here. I appreciate you making some time for the OTP community. I came across the Allurion balloon about 9 months ago, and it's been an intriguing thing to me ever since then. And so I would like to I want to actually play the video that I recorded 9 months ago. And then I'm going to just kind of get your feedback on it. And you tell me, what did I get right? What did I get wrong? What could I have said differently? And we'll kind of go from there.
Perfect.
Sounds good. I bet you can't guess where this bad girl gets implanted. No, this is not a fake boobie. This is a gastric balloon that is basically a pill that you swallow that's attached to a line, and it's filled with saline solution once it's inside your stomach. People lose up to 19% of their body weight after having this balloon implanted in their stomach. And then after a few weeks, it basically just dissolves. The saline solution goes into your body and gets processed. And then this balloon is just passed through your digestive system. Not yet approved for weight loss in the United States, but there are clinical trials being conducted. You can get this over in Europe. You can get this in Australia. Would you try the gastric balloon? Let me know in the comments if that is something that you would be interested in trying if it were available in the United States. And as always, if you all right, so you tell me, what did we get right, what we get wrong, and what do you wish I would have said differently?
Well, you got a lot right there, Dave. In fact, it's a pretty succinct explanation of what the Allurion balloon's all about. Like you said, it comes in a capsule. It's attached to a very thin tube. It fills to about half a liter inside the stomach. And then actually 4 months later, not a few weeks, but 4 months later, it opens up on its own and passes out of the body naturally. And when we sort of invented the Allurion balloon, over 15 years ago, the whole idea was to create something that was truly non-invasive, that could be delivered in a 15-minute office visit without surgery, without endoscopy, without anesthesia. And as a result, it becomes a much more convenient, much easier, safer, but as effective solution for weight loss as compared to something like a GLP-1 drug or even weight loss surgery for that matter.
So how effective are we talking, Shantanu?
So we've treated now over 150,000 patients outside the United States. So we've got a lot of data that shows that the balloon is very safe and also very effective. And one thing that people often overlook is that our balloon actually doesn't work just on its own. It comes with a behavior change program that we've developed. It comes with our digital platform. So every one of our patients also downloads our mobile app. They get access to our AI coach, Coach Iris, which is always on 24/7, helping people with their lifestyle and helping people also just answer simple questions about diet and exercise and sleep, all of the things that might change while you have the balloon inside the stomach. And all of that together in a cohesive program, our patients very consistently lose between 10 and 15% of their total body weight after just 4 months. So it's a very fast, very safe, very effective way to lose weight. But what we're most proud of, actually, and this is something I think your viewers could really be interested in, is that after the balloon passes, the number one question I get is, well, doesn't the weight just come back on? And our data shows that our patients will actually keep 95% of their weight off 1 year later.
Wow.
And that's because we surround them with lifestyle modification and behavior change during those 4 months. We use those 4 months not just to help them lose weight, but to change their lifestyle so that they can keep the weight off in the long run. And in fact, we have this saying at Allurion, our mantra almost is, the weight must stay off. Anything that we do at the company is really related to more to weight maintenance than it is to weight loss.
Amazing. So have you looked at, obviously on the pen, where we're very focused on GLP-1 anti-obesity medications, but have you looked at the potential of the Allurion balloon for maintenance, or vice versa, using the Allurion balloon to get the weight down and then GLP-1s to sort of help maintain? And a follow-up question, you mentioned that people kept the weight off. So if that many people are keeping the weight off after a year, maybe it's not necessary, but are you following that patient beyond that 4 months with that program, with the app, with those interventions, or it's just they go off of it and they just train themselves that well to keep the weight off?
I love GLP-1s. I think they are going to completely transform. They actually have already transformed the whole obesity landscape. And what I love about them is that so many people are gravitated towards trying them. And they've brought millions of people who normally wouldn't seek care for obesity into the ecosystem. And that's exactly what's being built right now. It's an ecosystem. So you may start with a GLP-1, and because of side effects, because of cost, whatever reason, you may stop taking it. But that shouldn't be the end of the road for the patient. The patient should have access to other therapies like our balloon, or even bariatric surgery or something else, or some other drug to help them continue their weight loss journey. So that's how I've started thinking about obesity in general, Dave. It's more an ecosystem where people can try certain things, go off of certain things, try other therapies, try things in combination. And I think a lot about, when I was in medical school, learning about cardiovascular disease, heart disease. With heart disease, it used to be if you had a heart attack, you'd have to go in and get a bypass surgery on your heart. Very invasive, but quite effective. Then along came stents and other devices that didn't require surgery. And then along came really great drugs like beta blockers and ACE inhibitors. And now today, there's a nice ecosystem where drugs, devices, surgery all coexist together. That's where we're going in obesity. And so when you combine our balloon with a GLP-1, you don't get 10 to 15% total body weight loss. You get 15 to 20% total body weight loss. We have studies now that show that if you start a low dose or even early generation GLP-1 like Saxenda or liraglutide after the balloon leaves the body, you can actually continue to lose weight, not just maintain your weight over a longer period of time. So I'm so excited about the future here because finally we have multiple options and multiple tools to offer patients. And just organically, we're going to start seeing these things mix and match and be used in sequence in order to treat obesity over the long run.
Amazing. I love to hear it. I love to hear the way that you kind of analogize it to cardiovascular treatments. I think that makes a lot of sense. Now, I don't know if you got, so you said 10 to 15% weight loss on average for the 4-month Allurion balloon. And then when coupled with even early generation GLP-1s, liraglutide, continuing to lose weight. Have you done any studies with the current generations like tirzepatide or semaglutide?
We do have one study done with oral semaglutide, and that was a randomized controlled study actually where patients either got our balloon alone or balloon plus oral semaglutide. And what you saw in the oral semaglutide group was higher weight loss, but you also saw better resolution of diabetes, of high blood pressure, of cardiovascular risk in general, and just metabolic disease in general. So there's a lot going on here with weight loss. It's not just about shedding the pounds, it's also about improving your metabolic health. And when you combine our balloon, which is acting mainly locally inside the stomach, helping you feel full, teaching you portion control, when you combine that with a GLP-1, whether it's oral or injectable, you start stimulating other pathways and other mechanisms that regulate weight. And those can be very synergistic and lead to long-term effects and also reduction in obesity-related diseases.
Yeah, I'm sure. And probably some that you didn't even mention that you weren't looking for. Amazing. So let's talk about the balloon. So you go, you get this thing in, you don't want to get it the day before Thanksgiving, a Thanksgiving meal. What can you eat on this? Because I just imagine like putting too much Tabasco on something and it just burns a hole right through the side of that thing.
Well, the balloon, I have one here, is incredibly tough. It's very stable inside the stomach. It can tolerate anything. So you can eat a normal diet with our balloon. But what we teach you is that you can eat a normal diet at smaller portions. And we sort of use the balloon as a way to train individuals on how to eat smaller portions, how to listen to their mind when it comes to eating and actually stop and put on the brakes. The balloon helps you do that earlier than you normally would. And that over time really helps people understand that they can go through an entire day eating far fewer calories. And so this lifestyle modification and behavior change is really a result of having the balloon inside the stomach, helping the patient through that journey. So there's no restrictions on diet. There's no restrictions on exercise either. People can exercise, whether they play contact sports, they can travel, they can do, all sorts of things. And as a result, this is the type of product that can really integrate pretty seamlessly into a patient's life and cause minimal disruption.
Wow, that's amazing. So when you actually go to get to the end of the 4 months, for most people, it's dissolved by that time.
Yeah, that's right. At 4 months, there's a special valve in the balloon, and we have over 50 patents on this valve. And over 4 months, that valve degrades. And at 4 months, it has fully degraded. And at that point, the balloon opens and it empties and it passes out of the body. And so as you go through this 4-month journey on our balloon, you're getting follow-up care through our app, through telehealth visits with a dietitian or a nutritionist. Certain patients will have access to Coach Iris, which is our 24/7 AI coach, on 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, to answer any questions like the one you just asked, like, hey, is there any restrictions on diet? What can I do from an exercise standpoint? Can you create a 5-day meal plan for me? All of this can be done now through generative AI, which we do through our mobile app. So it's a real wraparound experience, so that once the 4 months come and the balloon is out of the body, it's not a shock or a surprise. The patient's ready for it. They've changed their lifestyle and modified their behavior, and they're ready for life post-balloon.
Awesome. So another question I have, and when I listened back to the video, I mentioned that the treatment is not approved in the United States currently. Where is that process today, and when ultimately might somebody like myself be able to look seriously at this as an option?
Yeah, we're really excited about the US market for the balloon, because there's so many people here in the US that I think could benefit from a product like this. We're going through the clinical trial right now for our balloon. We actually expect that trial to wrap up just in a couple weeks. And so we should have some data available early next year. And after that, we submit the data to the FDA. And then it's really in FDA's hands to go through their process and review the device. And then, hopefully we get an approval. Now, that whole process typically with the FDA takes about a year. And our device may be different. It may be shorter. It may be longer. It's hard to tell at this point, but typically it's about a year. Now, in the meantime, we're not just sitting on our hands waiting for the US market to open up for our balloon. We actually launched something called Allurion Meds, which is our compounded GLP-1 service in the US. We just launched that last month. And what that is, it actually combines a compounded GLP-1 with all of the digital nuts and bolts that I just described that we use for the balloon. So the same issues that our balloon patients face, people who are starting GLP-1 drugs also face. They have questions about diet, about exercise, about sleep, about mental health. We pair our AI platform featuring Coach Iris with the GLP-1 and also leverage all of our knowledge of behavior change to help people who are on a GLP-1 actually modify their lifestyle. The big knock against GLP-1s right now is that people start them, they lose weight, then they stop them and they regain all the weight. Well, guess what? With our balloon, we know that it's only going to last for 4 months. So we've been trained to help people keep the weight off in the long run. So that whole mantra of the weight must stay off applies perfectly to the GLP-1 space. And what I'm hopeful for is that through Allurion Meds, we actually establish a little bit of a foothold in the US so that when our balloon comes to town, people know who we are and we can go out of the gates with a very fast start here in the US market.
I have to think that you have to have a lot of allies in the insurance world when it comes to bringing this thing to market, because the other sort of evergreen topic about GLP-1 outside of the side effects or discontinuation rates, which I would contend the discontinuation rates are much more about accessibility, scarcity, and insurance coverage than they are anything else. I think people gladly trade off the side effects by and large. But I got to think the insurance companies, the payers on this, would be excited for another minimally invasive, not super risky treatment that can achieve weight loss numbers. Sounds like similar to Wegovy, for a one-time cost, especially coupled with those lifestyle modifications that the PBMs are already trying to incorporate with the GLP-1 treatments. Are you feeling pretty bullish on that once it does come to market, that you'll get pretty good adoption by payers on this?
Yeah, we do. We know it's going to be a long road because obesity is pretty complex disease with a lot of different puts and takes when it comes to a payer and an insurance company. But the proposition is pretty simple here, right? We have a device that can be placed in a 15-minute office visit. It's extremely safe, very easy to use, and it produces pretty reliable results for patients, at least based on our international experience so far. And so if I'm an insurance company, if I'm a payer, and I'm looking at obesity as a disease, which it is, and I start with diet and exercise, which almost everyone tries, and it doesn't really lead to sustainable results. Maybe with the new administration, there's going to be more of a focus on preventative measures, which I fully support, because I think those are going to be pretty cost effective. But then inevitably, because obesity is a disease, people need other forms of care. And before going to a lifelong GLP-1 or an expensive bariatric surgery, why not give this a shot? Because it's going to be a fraction of the price of those other therapies. It's going to be very easy and convenient for patients to use. And if by using a balloon and changing your lifestyle, you avoid the need for lifelong GLP-1 use or bariatric surgery, well, you've just saved the healthcare system a ton of money and potentially, added years on to the patient's life. So I think there's a fantastic case to be made for the balloon. And already overseas, we're seeing more and more coverage and reimbursement for the product. And I suspect the same thing will take place here in the United States.
Amazing. One of the things you just said kind of sparked a question in my mind. Whenever I do these interviews and they're not live, I don't have the benefit of live questions from the community, but I can already hear the bariatric communities, and many bariatric surgery patients have gone on to use GLP-1s for maintenance or to help kind of fight back weight regain. I would assume that this therapy, this Allurion balloon, is probably not for people who have had bariatrics, or at least all of it. Like who's excluded from something like this?
Yeah, that's a great question. And you're absolutely right. If you've had any sort of surgery on your stomach, it's not safe to put a balloon inside of it because, that stomach wall is now weakened, and having a balloon inside could lead to some side effects and adverse events. Where we actually see the balloon being used pretty effectively is pre-bariatric surgery. So losing some weight prior to getting bariatric surgery leads to better outcomes in the long run, safer surgery, less blood loss, all that stuff. So that's actually one potential use case. And you probably know these numbers better than anyone, given how informed you are on this space. But 1% of people who qualify for bariatric surgery go on to get it. And so the question I get a lot from people is, hey, are you competing with bariatric surgery? No. In fact, we're helping the 99% who don't want bariatric surgery get some sort of care. And many of our patients who get the balloon first and start to get to know their bariatric surgeon, they may end up getting bariatric surgery one day, or one of their family members may end up getting bariatric surgery one day. So I always come back to this ecosystem, Dave, where whether it's a GLP-1, our balloon, bariatric surgery, or the next obesity therapy, let's bring the patients into the ecosystem. Let's help them along their way. And let's give them evidence-based care so that they can manage obesity over a lifetime and not just 4 months or 1 year at a time.
Yeah, very so complementary to bariatric surgery in a way that you can maybe help some patients that are at the real high weights get down to an operable weight or a safer operable weight. And then obviously working in tandem with GLP-1s for whether it's for maintenance or just improved outcomes. I like the way that you kind of couched that all there. One question that I do have, and then I will cut you loose here because I want to respect your time. Again, appreciate you being here today. Adverse events. What kind of adverse events have you seen in the clinical trials?
Yeah, so very actually similar to what you would experience with GLP-1s, but much shorter lived. So our balloon will lead to nausea, some abdominal cramping, in rare cases, some vomiting over the first 2 to 3 days. And really, after the first week of having the balloon inside the stomach, your stomach adapts to it, and it's pretty smooth sailing from there on out. In comparison to the GLP-1s, where you see similar side effects, you don't really see them recur with the balloon. Sometimes with GLP-1 therapy, every time you inject yourself or when you escalate the dose, you have resumption of those side effects. For our balloon, it's really confined to that first week is where you see the majority of the side effects. And we help the patients through it. And we're also transparent with patients that, hey, look, the first 2 days are going to be a little rough. You know, you're not going to have much of an appetite. You will have some nausea, but you'll get through it. And then it'll be smooth sailing from there on out, except that your portions are going to be much lower, which is the whole point of the program. So we pride ourselves on being very open with our patients about it, because, you know, it's almost like when you go through something like, you know, pregnancy, for instance, you know, pretty long, protracted process, but afterwards you forget all about that and you focus on the final outcome, which is a healthy child. We do the same thing with the balloon. There will be some bumps in the road, but at the end of it, you're going to have a much better experience at a much lower weight. And, you know, better metabolic health.
Yeah, amazing. Well, Dr. Shantanu, it was a pleasure discussing the Allurion balloon with you and some of the other things that you're doing with compound GLP-1s. I think it's very exciting. I always say a nerd out to talk to people like you who have been at the forefront of just finding ways to treat obesity outside the box, outside of some of the traditional, more invasive means. And I think that this is going to be really, really big for patients in the future. I think this has the possibility of being maybe a more accessible option, and definitely a great option for somebody like me who has just been so on the fence about actually getting bariatric surgery. I think this could be a potential really, really amazing thing. So I appreciate you. Good luck with your FDA approval. It sounds like you don't have the fast track designation, so you're going to be on their timetable for maybe a year or so. But hopefully they'll see the importance, and maybe even, frankly, with the new administration looking, it seems to be a big topic. Just this morning, I think RFK Jr. kind of got cornered by Jim Cramer, MSNBC, and he was like, "What do you think about GLP-1s?" I love the dash. And he's like, they have a place. Right. But I think they're all kind of looking at this because I think there is a common understanding, a nonpartisan understanding that obesity has to be tackled in a meaningful way. And GLP-1s certainly aren't the only way that we're going to get there, especially considering the cost prohibitive nature for so many people who live with the disease of obesity. So I'm excited for what you're doing. Good luck. Please keep us informed when it is available. I'd love you to come back and maybe chat with the community and talk a little bit more about, you know, what hurdles people may have to actually get a treatment like this. But I really appreciate your time today.
Thanks, Dave. Thanks for having me on, man. I'm a huge fan of what you do, and you know, big shout out to the whole community, the whole OTP community. Keep up the great work, man. Thank you.
Thanks, Shantanu. Pleasure to meet you.
Take care.
Dr. Shantanu Gaur from Allurion. Really exciting conversation. It's so fun to look back and see something that we randomly covered 9 months ago, and then 9 months fast forward, we're sitting down with the CEO of that company, bringing some really, I think, helpful information. If you appreciated the information that you got today, again, we kind of went on how long we might be looking in the United States at getting a treatment like this. But if you want to learn more about what they're doing at Allurion, you can visit their website. It's allurion.com. I think that y'all should take a peek over there and just familiarize yourself with what they're doing, because I really do think it's amazing. Thanks again to Dr. Gaur for spending some time with the OTP community today. Well, that was hopefully a insightful and informative interview for you all tonight with Dr. Shantanu Gaur in Allurion, Allurion, allurion.com. Check it out. I'm really excited about what they're doing. Of course, last week we had Dr. Rajagopalan from Fractal Health talking about their different treatments that they have, less invasive, sort of like this halfway between surgery, but more of a therapy just like where obesity space is going pharmaceutically as well. So we want to get excited about all the innovation that's happening in this space. In the last couple of weeks, we've been able to bring some of that to you. So I'm very proud of the guests that we have been able to bring to this community over the last few weeks, especially. It's only going to get better in 2025. And so look forward to that. If you've enjoyed the content that you've gotten here tonight and if you've been watching this far and you're not subscribed, what are you even doing? Subscribe to On the Pen here. Hit the little thumbs up button, hit the bell notification so that you know when we go live, because that is how you're going to know when the content drops. Again, this was an amazing interview, the fractal interview from last week. And then just yesterday, the chief counsel for the litigation between the Outsourcing Facilities Association and the FDA. If you care about compounds, you should check that interview out. There was some really good insight into the future of compounds, at least the short-term future of accessibility to compound tirzepatide. If that matters to you, you got to go check that interview out. But thank you for being here tonight. A reminder, a couple emojis that you want to drop in the chat tonight. The book emoji, if you'd like to potentially win a signed copy of the book. The Build the Body ranch and Caesar dressing, high protein stuff. There's nothing else like it on the market. Very clean ingredients. Thank you to them. Put the salad emoji in the chat if you're interested in that. And then, of course, the elusive and everybody wants to win this every week. They can't wait. Please let me know if you would like to be entered into that potential giveaway, which we just need you to put your name and then the little pill emoji next to it for the can't wait. Congratulations to the winner last week. Again, if you win, you got to go dave@onthepen.com. Give me your mailing address and we'll send that out. So thank you to the sponsors who helped us with the giveaways this week. We've got more coming next week. Can't wait. We've got Z Raytano from Roe going to come on and share a little bit about the Release the Vials Roe style. Super excited for that. Until next week, we'll have a lot of content here and in between, but we won't do the show for another week. So until next week, may the Lord bless you and keep you, cause his face to shine upon you this Christmas season. If you celebrate Christmas, I hope that you enjoy this week. I hope that it goes smoothly for you all. I hope that you have some really great gains in the world of your personal health. And I can't wait to do this again with you all next week. It's a real bright spot in my week. I hope it is for you. Let me know in the comments if it is, and we'll check you on the next one.